Grand rising, everyone. Today is Wednesday. Woo! Hey,
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
grand rising. Okay, how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling today? Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesday, Grand Rising Elizabeth Show. For those who don't know, my name is Lakeisha LeGrand, and I'm known as Madam Finance because I love helping women build wealth with confidence. I also am a proud owner of Natural Living by Design and a health and wellness company. And I'm just so excited about 2026. What about you? What about you? Who excited about this year?
We got the fix in 26, baby. We
Oh,
got the fix.
I'm
okay,
excited about 26, Lakeisha.
awesome. Yes, I'm keeping God in the mix in 2026.
I
I
hear
You
know,
you.
better put him
sister.
in.
Go ahead, babe. What you say?
You better put him in your luggage.
Okay. Even Sophia, she on here. Sophia, what's your saying for 2026?
You already done shouted it out, keeping God all in the mix in 2026 as I become.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So today is Wednesday. We're gonna do something just a little bit differently today, because our guest, has an appointment that she has to go to, and so I just want her to be able to get in everything that she needs to get in today. Terry, so you don't need the slides then today. Were you gonna use?
I have them. I'm in the car with my laptop. So I have my PowerPoint up and my slides ready to go. So
Oh,
if I have a little interruption, I apologize. I forgot I had a doctor's appointment. So I'm in the parking lot with my laptop ready to roll.
It's so good to see you, Terry.
So good to see you guys. I miss you and love you.
Yeah, this your busy season. You about to jump in, huh?
Yes, yes.
okay.
I jumped in.
Okay, Terry, you just gotta tell the listeners. So this is what we do. When we part of the list, this is what we do. Girl, tell them what you've been up to. I mean, this girl been like, so she been on fire. Okay, can you tell us what you've been? I know what you've been up to. I want you to tell them what you've been up to. What are all your accomplishments in 2025? You wasn't playing with nobody.
No, I was not. But I will say sometimes with the good comes the bad. But 2025 was amazing. And I know 2026 is going to be great for all of us. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're on here for wealth building. So that means we want to learn and grow. But in 25, I have my doctorate, my PhD in accounting business. So I am now Dr. Terri Gant. Yes. So I continue to grow and educate myself in the finance spectrum because I want to be able to offer that financial literacy.
Mhm.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So I am excited.
That is so
Give back.
amazing.
Yes.
Okay,
And we were able
okay.
to do a lot of give backs as well with book bags and Halloween and Christmas. So we've done a lot of networking and teamwork and giving back to the community. So I'm excited. And I'm excited to network with more people so we can grow and I can offer that financial literacy in spaces that doesn't, normally have it so that they can achieve and become greater. Because this is our year, 26. What'd you say? 2020, we in the mix.
2026, y'all. 2026.
Yes, we in the mix. So we mixing it all up with our wealth and finances.
Okay.
Awesome.
So we're gonna go a little bit out of the norm. Normally, I start the show off with a millionaire billionaire success story, and I'm not gonna leave that out because this one I think it's like real good. It's juicy, so we're gonna still do it. But T, I want you to go ahead and start your PowerPoint because she only has 20 minutes with us. So go ahead, Terry, take it away. Take it away, Dr. Terry. My
Dr.
bad.
Terry. I love it.
Okay. Okay. Can you make it where I can share my
Oh, yeah,
screen?
right. I got to change it over.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So while she's getting that you know, ready. I just love Wednesdays because it kind of, Monday is the start of the week, then you got the Friday that ended. But Wednesday kind of like tell the truth about the matter, like where your energy was at, what you did, and it gives you a point of reference, a correction, So I love Wednesdays. All right, Terry, go take it away, girl.
I'll move this out the way so you can see it. And first, it's just like a little bio about myself. I'm a wealth strategist, tax expert, and financial educator. I have over 30 years experience. So I've been in banking, mortgages, taxes, any spectrum of finance I've been in. So I do budgeting. I also do bookkeeping, tax advisory, anything within the tax world. I'm the founder of ABC, Abundantly Building Commerce. So I shortened the name, so ABC Finance Lab, as well as tax and trust software. So I have a tax business, but I also sell tax software to other tax businesses. So that way they have a platform to use it, and it's a CRM style. And I specialize in teaching entrepreneurs. I love to teach people and give back. So I love to teach other entrepreneurs how to legally, because we do everything legally, leverage the tax codes to build wealth, even before profits show up. Because sometimes when you start with the taxes, especially with small business owners, it may not be a profit in the beginning, but I just want, I teach you to keep going and don't be discouraged, and to still file your taxes, even though you don't see that profit in the beginning. And I want you to just reframe your mindset of how you think about taxes. Is not a burden, but it's a powerful financial tool because it opens doors for us. It helps us get funding, grants, loans, and then it also builds generational wealth. Because if you start that business, even though you may think it's small now, think of places like KFC. You have that time frame. So if you start a business now, you're leaving a legacy for your children. Even though it may not be profitable now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, it may be profitable. And your kids and grandkids can say, hey, we've had this business for 30 years or 10 years because it's something you started, and you're doing taxes just to keep track of it, to show that that business is up and operating legally, even if you don't see a profit. I am definitely faith grounded. So I do, I keep God and see God in the mix of everything. He has brought me through a lot. So I always say, the good things are great. I opened my tax business. This is actually my third tax season. So the first year I was virtual, and the second year I purchased a building. So I have a brick and mortar. So this is my third tax season. And my second tax season, when I started, I had a stroke and lost complete use of my right side, some of my cognitive with speaking. So, sometimes we do have things that come up, but if we keep pushing, put God first, He will definitely work it out for us. In 25, I had a cancerous tumor, so that was removed. So I have had, a lot of health issues. And sometimes it's hard to push through when you feel like the world is against you. But I want to encourage you, even though you may think your business is small or something is small and you can't do it, or life comes against you, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. It's definitely, because I speak taxes, but I also speak encouragement, positivity, because I want all businesses to grow. We say small businesses, but I want you to think it may start off small, but we're big. We're big in energy. We may not have the finances right now, but if we continue to think big, we'll have it one day, because sometimes wealth may not always be money. Your wealth is things you can bring to the table, showing up in spaces like this. We're wealth to each other because we can teach each other, we can learn from each other, and we're here uplifting each other. So wealth sometimes can be just the smallest things, as, an encouraging word to people. So I always like to give advice whenever someone get their taxes done, because I feel like if you come to me, you should leave knowing more than what you came with. I'm not losing anything by teaching you ways to grow your business, ways to save money, giving you tax advice. I'm helping you because other cultures have been doing it for years. We're late to the party. But delayed don't mean denied. So we may be delayed with getting to the party, but it does not mean denied. We still gonna cash in and take advantage of all of these tax benefits and everything that they have out here. So this is just saying that we're talking about wealth building today. That one's what that is. And then we kind of went over who I am. But the big myth of taxes is I didn't make any money, so I don't have to file. A lot of people think that's false and it's costly. If you do, a lot of people don't want to file their small businesses because they didn't make a profit. So they feel like they don't want to pay to have tax preparation done. You want to file to keep those records, especially now they're offering a lot of grants, a lot of loans, it's so much, it's so many opportunities out here. And they want to show that you are in business and you're operating the correct way. So your tax filing, having your business plan, all of those things set up, that's going to put you in a space to get funding. And, when you're in line against 50 people, if you have your tax documents together, everything in order, then you're more likely to get chosen versus if you don't have any proof that you've been operating. Because a lot of business, a lot of these grants or loans, they want to see how long you've been in business. So you can say you've been in business 10 years, but if you haven't done taxes or don't have any proof, if you're not registered, if you haven't established that business, then you're just operating as a hustle. And we're no longer hustling. We're moving into a space where we're going to become millionaires. So we're moving into millionaires. We no longer we can have hustle and grit in it, but we're not operating our businesses as hustles anymore. We're operating them as businesses. So losses are not failures, even though when you start your business and you look at it that you took losses, you may have invested more. It's okay. You can offset those because say for instance, you have another job. So now you can offset those expenses because you actually spent those things. You want to just make sure that you're keeping track of anything you're spending. You also want to separate your funds. You want to have a business bank account. Even if you have small amounts in it, you want to go into places that doesn't charge service fees. So if you're a small business and you don't have a lot of profit, when you go into these spaces and these banks to open up accounts, you want to make sure you want to ask them about their monthly charges, their requirements, because it's a lot of places that give free, business checking accounts. I know Comerica gives a free business checking account. Chase is one of the more expensive ones. So you do have to maintain a balance with Chase. Bank of America give you like a year to get up to a certain amount. So you want to ask those questions before you open your account, because if you're not profiting, the last thing you want to do is spend the money that you're making on fees. So you always want to ask questions to be knowledgeable. Again, I just want to, and this is just saying why you want to file loans, grants, investors, because investors want to see proof that you've been operating. It helps establish your business credit, and also scaling. You may want to sell your business because now a lot of people buy shelf businesses or businesses that's been around. So you just want to have your ducks in order. And then you just want to avoid not filing because you don't want inconsistencies. You don't want your business to look like a hobby. Now, I will say if you take losses for more than 3 years, the government will deem it as a hobby. But even if you break even, then that's not classified as a hobby. So even if you made a little bit of money, you always want to track and keep track of it. Sometimes we think it's small if you sold 5 or 6 items. You just want to keep track of any money you have coming in. If you set up through Square, Zelle, Cash App, you want to use places like Square and things like that, because as your payments come in, they will give you loans. And it may be small amounts, but it's a start. So you just want to show that you have consistent records. Even if you can't afford to pay a bookkeeper, you just want to keep track of all your expenses. If you're not sure with, how to set up and do like Microsoft Excel to track it, get you an envelope. Get you a folder, maybe get 12 envelopes. You can write January, February, March, put your receipts in there and keep track of it. You want to keep track of your business, any small things you buy for the business, any mileage, any gas, anything that you're doing for the business. If you operate your business out of your home, you can write off your office space in your home. If you have a computer, if you have a desk, all of those things you can write off. If you use your phone, if you use your internet for it, depending on what type of business you have. If you're a hairdresser and you do hair out of your house, you can write off your water, your gas and lights, because you're using those things. In some cases, you can even write off your subscriptions. Say, for instance, if you do hair and in the waiting time your clients watch Netflix, now you can write off that Netflix subscription, because that's something you provide for your clients. So it's different things, that you can write off just to keep track of everything. So you want to make sure you're taking notes of anything you're doing in your business so that your business can be successful. And always have the mindset that we're playing chess. Just think chess. When you're making moves, think chess. We're not playing checkers. We're not messing. We're big time now. Donald Trump is in office, so we have to think like him. We have to move like him. We have to be strategic. You have to move strategic. And he's a business-oriented man, so now is the time to really incorporate those businesses and get them set up the correct way so that you can be in the spaces that other ethnicities are in. I'm not going to say, the white or the Caucasians. I'm not going to call anybody out, but, you can be amongst. We may not like Donald Trump, but we're going to take advantage of his tools and his tax advantages to full extent because we want to stay afloat. We want to stay afloat. We are playing chess, so every move we make is strategic.
Come on.
To make sure, we're keeping everything in order. If you have questions, you can always call me. I love giving advice. I do. Now, I will say I like giving more advice when it's not tax season. I love to give more advice May through December, but you can always ask me questions during tax time. I love to give advice. I love to help people, especially so they can set up for the next year. If your business is not formatted, I do help with business formation so that you can have everything in order. We want to make sure you are moving in the right direction.
Terry, there is a question. Well, somebody made a statement. She's some iPhone 3. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. She said, I was told to not use Square to, it was because it's too expensive. Okay.
Now, if it is more expensive then you can use other platforms. Now, the benefit, and it's always a cost with the benefit. And that's why I said Square will give you loans because they see the money coming in, but everything is a cost. Even with bank accounts, anything you're using, if you do payroll, look into pricing. If you're using ADP, you always, as a small business, want to compare prices. When you talk to them, you always want to see if you can negotiate. It never hurts to ask. Speak up for yourself. Speak up for your business. Ask questions, negotiate prices. If Square is too expensive, then don't use it. Go with Zelle or Cash App, but just know you'll have to keep better records. Like if you're using QuickBooks or things like that, they are more expensive, but they keep records for you. So if you're going to do it, with cash, you just have to make sure you're keeping records.
Okay, Danielle, looks like Danielle raised her hand. Danielle, you got the floor.
I'll raise my hand real quick. I would say QuickBooks is really not that expensive if you're, really serious about making profit and keeping up with your financial paperwork. I've had an uncle that's been using QuickBooks for over 20 years. I know different small businesses that have been using. Once you get into being able to see your profit and loss statements, your income statements, and start looking at this stuff on a regular basis, QuickBook has been like the GOAT for years to making that user-friendly as possible. They even got it down to an app where you can scan your receipts for stuff that you're buying for the business and will calculate that into your monthly your monthly statements. So there's a cost to do business. That's one thing we have to get into. It costs a little to do business, but if you have the right tools, it will make that so much easier. My uncle had a children's hair salon, And that's what him and his wife did every Monday, was to go through all of the receipts and all of the bill on a weekly basis to know where the business stood. Because you got to know where your business stands, period. So you can make those financial moves and pivot when it's time to pivot. So don't be afraid to pay for your tools, because it's your tools, regardless if it's your iPhone, if it's your MacBook, if it's QuickBooks. This is what makes it easier for you to do business. I just want to share that.
Absolutely. And I love QuickBooks. They offer free training on any service they have. So if you do anything with QuickBooks, you can always, don't worry about getting stuck, because you can always go on YouTube. You can always Google. They always have, examples, free webinars, free training. That's one thing I can say about QuickBooks. It is a really, really great tool for businesses, not just small businesses, for any business. And it's great for people in the tax world, because if my client has QuickBooks, then I can log in to their account and work on their books through there. So I can also go in and keep track. So I love QuickBooks, because you can give your tax professional, CPA, you can give them access, and they can go directly in during tax time, and clean everything up for you or have access to it. So I do love QuickBooks. I absolutely agree with Danielle with that.
Sophia had something in the chat. She said, and they always have a discount when you first sign up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One thing I would like to add also, when you're in business, one of the things I remember from my accountant, who's I've been with for years, she always say, use your debit card for everything, right? If you use it for everything, you always have a paper trail, because you lose receipts. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with your receipts, and then also receipts fade after a while. But if you always use your debit card, you can always pull your bank statements. And so that's something I've been, passionate about for over 10, 15 years, that I use my debit card for everything when it has to do with business.
Absolutely. And you want to make sure it's the business debit card and a business account. So you want to, when you're using your debit card, you just want to make sure you have a business account set up and using your business debit card. Because if it's your personal account, it could be commingling and certain
Yes.
items can get disqualified. So definitely using your debit card, but you want to make sure you're using your business account and setting up that business account.
That's right. Thank you, Terry, because I was about to talk about commingling funds. So you hit that right on the money. Thank you for sharing that. That's very important.
And then just keeping track of things like mileage if you travel. Even if it's small, if you drop off, say for instance, you have a business and you don't have a brick and mortar, so you drop the items off, you always want to still keep track of your mileage, because you can write that off if it's related to business. So just making sure you're keeping track of any equipment you buy, any supplies, just keeping track of everything you purchase for your business. Because some expenses, you can depreciate so that it doesn't always lower the amount you made. So, depending on who your tax person is, I would love for you all to come to me. But depending on your tax person, you just want to ask them, like, if you use your vehicle, about depreciation, especially if you're using your vehicle 50% of the time for business, or if you're using it, a large quantity for business, you want to ask them about writing off and depreciating your vehicle. If it's a lease, you can do the lease payment. Now Donald Trump has, if you're buying it, you can write off the interest for your payments. So if you're buying a car, you can't write off the interest. You can't write off the principal part of it, but you can write off the interest of your payment, of your car payment. So you just want to ask those questions and make sure you're keeping track of everything.
Ooh, that was good.
Did anybody else have any questions?
Yes, someone said, what about the purchase of a building? That's Miss Connie Brooks in the house.
Yes, so you can depreciate that as well. The purchase of any property that you do under the business. So if you purchase your building, you can depreciate it over 5 years. The cost of the building, any expenses that you had to do to bring it up to code, your utilities that you're using in the building. So when you have an actual brick and mortar, you can write off the whole thing, any expenses, gas, lights, water. If you have a phone in there, any expenses related to the building, yes, you can write off.
Great question, Connie B. Someone said, oh, Connie said, yes, say that delayed but not denied. Okay.
Yes.
That is so good. So
Because
good.
this is our year. We're claiming it, 2026.
Yes. I love what you said. What file improves. You're a real business. You're fundable. You're scalable.
Yes.
That's really important because, what are you in business for? Even when you sign up for a business and it says perpetual, I don't know if you all ever really noticed that. But when it says perpetual, that means forever lasting. Like your business is supposed to outlive you, like Ford Motor Company and so many more. So we have to take this serious because people out here waiting on you to get it together because we're blessed to be a blessing. This is some good stuff.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, it's Linda K. Pruitt. I just want to say I really appreciate just the fact that when I have problems with receipts, and when you said put your receipts documented January, February, March, April, May, that rung a bell. I'm like, wow, I
Yeah.
need to do that.
Yeah. Or if
I have receipts all over the place.
yes, and not only that, if you're not going to use your debit card, your business debit card, at least make copies of your receipt because receipts do fade. So if you're not going to use your card, for that documentation, that paper trail, because I've will lose receipts or don't file them the way I should. So I would, used to make copies of them. But I just prefer just do everything with my card, and that way I can pull my bank statements and go through and highlight things that I may have missed.
You know what, Lakeisha, another tech savvy way of doing it, if you are using a system like QuickBooks which has an app that you can put on your phone, you can take pictures of the receipt right there and upload it into your bookkeeping system like QuickBooks. So you don't even have to copy it. It will automatically, if you just reduce the habit of if you do get a receipt, just copy it, upload it into the app, and it will automatically file it for you and file it for the bookkeeping purposes as well.
Sharonda said QuickBooks app can be linked to your account and your card. And that is also correct because we have everything linked to the QuickBooks, like from our Cash App that ends up going to QuickBooks. Everything that we use, all the alternative Square, all of that end up being transferred over to QuickBooks. So there are things that you can do. There's several people who got their hands raised. Moonlight Minerals, what's going on, girl? What's going on?
Hey, how you doing? So I just wanted to chime in on my opinion on what we're talking about. So I use Square personally. I also have a business bank account. Square has a banking feature where actually has a digital debit card. So if you're making purchases online too, that's another way that you could track your expenses. They also have reports in there too. I use QuickBooks initially, but I honestly I got so confused. So I just stuck with what I know. So if you're ever like, I don't understand any of this, just stick with whatever program that works for you and just stay consistent. Like I put on my schedule once a week to go through all of my stuff because we get busy. You have to schedule time and set aside time to go through all this stuff. So that was my 2 cents.
Okay, I'm not able to see who else had a question. Who else had a question? It was two other people who had their hand raised.
That was it.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
Piggyback off of like Minerals, I agree, and I have that on one of the slides, that it's best to keep track weekly and not yearly because you'll lose track. And everybody does have a system that works for them, and that's why I offer advice on receipts, because where some people love QuickBooks, some people love Square, some people are old fashioned. So we just want to give advice, and I just want to meet people where they are, because I don't want you to think that is no alternative. So if you're not tech savvy and you don't want to do QuickBooks and you don't want to do Square, I want you to know that you can still keep track. If you do envelopes, you can buy the plastic, how they have the plastic binders that look like an accordion. You can do that. And if you put your receipts in right away, it keeps them, from fading as fast. So even if you make copies, you can do it bi-weekly, you can do it bi-monthly. So do choose a system that works for you. But our main thing is we want you to have a system, because we want to make sure that you're keeping track of your records, any mileage, expenses, travel, any supplies. Because now, with so many people having small businesses, the IRS is honing in. So you want to just have proof, and you want to keep a copy of it. Even, you want to give a copy to your tax professional, but you also want to keep a copy for your records. So when you do your taxes, don't just think that it's over. When you do your taxes, any receipts that you had, you want to attach that and put it in your folder. You want to keep those records, because you always want a COA. You always want to cover your assets. You always want to cover. So no matter who your tax professional is, when you get your hard copy or your email copy, however you receive your copy of your return, you want to put, if you work a job, you want to put your W-2, you want to put all receipts, bank statements, whatever you provided, you want to keep a copy of for yourself and put that in a folder. You always want to have your copies. The IRS can go back 3 years. I say keep your documents for 5 years, just so you have it, because you never know when they may come back to you and ask you for proof. And unfortunately, I hear so many stories where people give, their stuff to a tax professional, they disappear, or they don't respond. So you want to make sure you're covering yourself. You always want to keep your records and always want to keep a copy for yourself. So if you give them your documents, you ask them if you can have a copy. Just don't hand it over. When they give you your return back, you want to ask a copy for everything you turned into them, so you have for your records as well.
That's real good. I don't know, maybe it's because of insurance. I say hold on to them for 10 years, but I think 5 years
I
is
hold
good.
on for mine for 10 years too. I do 10 years too, but I don't want to force it on people. But I keep everything for 10 years. I even keep my clients' stuff for 10 years. So if they come back, because I've had clients who went to buy a house and needed a W-2 or needed things, and they automatically knew they could call me because they knew I was going to keep good records. I was going to be able to help them. So I keep everything for 10 years, just because you never know what you may need. But I really advise at least 5 years.
Yeah, I think that's good. Anybody have any questions thus far?
Kathy's hand is up. Kathy?
Is that Kathy Gant? Oh my God.
Unmute yourself, dear.
You unmute yourself, Kathy?
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. What I want to ask is, it's a lot of apps like Fetch and different ones. Can you use that for uploading your receipts? Because some of those are beneficiary to give you like gift cards or give back perks for you using them. Do those type of platforms help and assist with you using for your receipts?
Absolutely, because you're keeping a copy in there, because it's fetch and it's used for a different purpose. I still would suggest keeping a copy for yourself, but you can use that as a way to have them uploaded digitally. You can always go back to that app. But because they're using it for discounts and they're not necessarily like a accounting platform or a platform where you're receiving payments or anything to, I would just keep a copy for records just because their system is different. I mean, you definitely can go back in there and get those receipts. But something like Fetch, you can keep a copy because it'll keep it clear. But I also would keep a hard copy of those receipts just because it's a different platform.
Okay, thank you.
So, what is actually Fetch? Can you just let us know? Is that's a platform that's generally for what? Just to make sure that everybody understand what the Fetch is. Is that just for receipts? What is Fetch?
Well, Fetch is an app that you could download to your phone. I have used it, but my purpose in using it at the time that I was using it was not for receipts. So what you do is you scan your receipts in, which made it easier to do right then. You in the market, you scan it in. You when you leave the gas station, you get a receipt, you scan it in. But it also gives you gift cards back. So I was just wondering how good was Fetch when it came down to taxes. Like I use it just personally for the gift cards, So I that's about all I could tell you about it. I've never had to go in and categorize. Like I started when I was catering. That's actually when I started, and I could not keep up with my receipts, so I started so I could track the groceries that I was buying, and it gives you the actual date that you purchased it. It's itemized. It's the actual receipt that you get from the grocery store. It saves that.
Okay. Now,
Or the gas station or anywhere that you may shop. You get TJ Maxx or JC Penney's or whatever. All of those stores because if you don't when you take the actual picture of the receipt, if it doesn't have an amount or date on it, and the location of where you're shopping, if it can't read that, it won't even scan it up.
mm, Connie B said she used Fetch also, and then Sunny M, welcome Sunny M. Uh-oh, she said always ask for a copy because they won't get in trouble just because you're in trouble.
Absolutely. And you'll have to pay that fine. So when I say ask for a copy, and even if they get in trouble, you still can get in trouble for not catching it. So because the IRS feel like you're signing it, which means you agree. So you always want to keep your copy because someone could disappear on you. Now we have a lot of ghost preparers. So you just want to keep your copy. You always want to keep your copy.
Awesome. Moonlight Minerals, she said she put in a chat a code, download Fetch with her link, use the code to get a bonus when you submit your first receipt. So thank you for sharing that, Moonlight Minerals. This is some good information. I hope y'all taking notes. And I like what you got on this screen says no proof equal no deductions. Okay. So you want to, even though most people, and this is one of the things I've always had, a concern is that people start their businesses and because they didn't make no money, they don't file their taxes. And this is one of the things me and Terry wanted to make sure that we say because it's so important that you missing out on so much when you don't file your taxes and you want to know you're a professional. You want to move with excellence. How you gonna move with excellence and you ain't filing your taxes? You got to file your taxes whether you made money or not. Paper trail. And they don't even expect you to be the made money the first year. A lot of times, most businesses don't even become profitable until after the fifth year because most of the money you making is going back into the business to grow your business. So let's definitely change. It's worth you to spend that $300 or $400 that it's going to cost because you're going to get a lot of that back. Terry, I see you got a different screen up.
Yes, just trying to put it through. I didn't go through all the PowerPoint. I said I didn't miss the doctor appointment now, so I was just sitting in the parking lot, finished. I lost track of time. Maybe they'll take me late. But yes, just making sure again that you're separating the money, that you're tracking the cash weekly. Systems create profit. So you want to make sure you have systems in place because you can receive money, but if you don't have systems in place and how you're spending it and budgeting, that's why a lot of businesses fail because they don't have systems in place. So you want to make sure that you have systems in place, even if it's small, even if you can't afford to pay for QuickBooks and things like that. Create your own systems, create a paper trail. If you have Excel, make a Word, document and go in Excel and keep your track in there. You can do it monthly. You can do it, quarterly, just making sure you're keeping track because filing builds longevity. Just what Keisha just said. We just want to make sure our businesses are outlasting us. We're passing them on to our kids and grandkids. We're building legacies.
All right. So Terri, I thought I'm glad that you're still here, but I want to say something that I feel like was very important for this call is regarding a tax refund, right? A tax refund is not free money, y'all. It's not free money. It's a return of overpaid money. And if you don't give it an assignment, it will disappear. So now we in the beginning of the year, you're about to get this money, right? And what are you going to do with it? So I have a question to pose, if it's okay, Terri. I have a question to pose to everyone. When you get your refund check, right? Do your refund check basically go to bills, go to business, go to your education, or investing? Where do your money go? This is uh-oh.
There you go.
Y'all thinking about that, huh? Ooh, yeah. Where it go when you get your refund check? Come on, don't be shy. Where it going? Because based off of where your money goes, it's gonna tell me your money mindset.
You lost us that refund check. None of us get a refund check. No, I'm just playing.
And really on a high level.
What is that?
Okay. And really on a high level. So that's why I like to study millionaires and billionaires because I learn a lot, right? So when you actually get a refund, that really means that you ain't made no money. When you say I got a refund check, actually you didn't make no money because when you make money, millionaires and billionaires, they don't get refund checks. Boom. Uh-oh. Was that a mic drop? Boom. Did y'all know that? If you got a refund check, that really means you didn't make no money. Because millionaires and billionaires, they don't get refund checks. Boom. Okay, I hear the
Say more. Say more.
I hear the silence in the room. I hear the silence. Okay. Oh, wait a minute.
More. Say more, please.
Investing in AI training and purchase more super pets. Okay. Danielle over here selling her business.
I use mine for bills.
Okay, thank you, Connie. Anybody else? What anybody use their money for their business? Then when they get their income tax, do your money have an assignment? Where else do it go? Anybody spending money on their business? Anybody take some of their refund check and paying for their personal development on education? Come on, what do y'all? I know y'all spending y'all refund check. Come on, y'all. We ain't no judgment.
It's also on the goal to what is it? Make sure I what is it? Not reinstate, but keep up with my LLC. You got to register that every year.
Okay, that's what, $25. Okay, what y'all spending y'all money on when y'all get y'all refund check? Terri, you mute. Oh, did you know you was muted, Terri?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was just calling this into this doctor's office. I'm sorry.
Okay, I apologize. No, I didn't know.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't take care of your business.
Now, I'll go ahead and chime in. So in my 20s, when I wasn't making no money, me and my husband used to average about $5,000 to $10,000 back, and we balled out. We went on trips. We brought up everything for the kids for the year. We did stupid. Okay. In my 30s, when I got my taxes, I paid everything up for the year. So that way my actual check itself was actually being able to and be invested and to be able to be saved. Now that I done made it over 40, I make too much money. I don't get no taxes back. And I miss those days because I be laughing at myself like, baby, if you would have invested that money instead of spending it on all that good stuff. Now I will tell you this, I ain't one of those people that's buying the TV every year because I don't watch TV, and two, the TV worked last year, it worked this year. I can never understand how people buy TV every single tax season. That don't work for my mind. But that's been my timeline with the taxes.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to say where their money go when they get their income taxes?
I do want to say, no matter what your income status is, I heard people say different things that they did with their money. Pay bills, always pay 10% to yourself. Be it savings, investment, and do that first. Always pay 10% to yourself. 10% may seem like a small amount. Even if you make $100, put $10 over to a savings account or buy investment small. Always pay yourself 10%. Do that first. And I know when you have bills and kids, it seems hard to say, but always pay yourself first, because even if paying yourself first could allow to money for a rainy day. Because say for instance, you make $100 a week and you put that $10 aside, the end of the year something comes up, Christmas, just paying for it, putting that money aside for yourself, saving for a rainy day. Or if you're only self-employed, making sure you have retirement, it's just a lot of things you can do, but you always, always, always want to invest at least 10% into yourself.
That is so good. So I just want to share a few things if I may. So if you say you pay your money, your income tax go to bills, right? So bills are real, bills are necessary, but here's the epiphany regarding that. Bills don't build wealth. They maintain survival. And there's nothing wrong with survival as long as you don't stop there. Paying bills is a relief, but when you're investing, it releases you from that cycle. If every dollar only goes to the past, the future never gets funded.
Mm.
I want y'all to
Again,
think about that.
say
Yeah,
that again.
say that. That's a mic drop.
Okay. Bam!
Yeah, say that again.
If every extra dollar goes to the past, the future never gets funded.
Wow.
Okay? Split it. 80% bills, 20% future. Even $100 invested changes the whole mindset thing. Now, let's say if you say my money goes into my business, I spend my refund check on my business, right? That tells me you think like an owner. And owners fund systems, not just ideas. Invest in things that produce, not consume, like accounting systems, marketing assets, inventory. Education is tied to your revenue. So a business isn't just funded intentionally because it's an expensive hobby. Come on, it's investing into your future. And when you spend it, ask yourself, will this make me money back? Now, if you say that you spent your money on education, education is powerful. But only when it's implemented, right? So we can always learn all of these different things. We paying for this, we paying for that. It's no good if you are not implementing what it is that you're learning. Education without action is entertainment. Oh, did y'all get that?
Say that one more time.
Education without action is entertainment. Education with execution equal income. You gotta get that. The best education puts money back into your pocket. That's the best education. If you say that you use your refund check in the market or investing, that tells me you're thinking long term. And long term thinkers win. Investing turns refunds into revenue. Time equal timing over timing. Consistency over perfection. Quit trying to be perfected. Money grows where it's given time and discipline. Somebody in the chat says the best education puts money back in your pocket. Okay? Yes, 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 yes. So think about what you're going to do with your refund. Come on, we can't spend it recklessly. Quit living life as though you have 1,000 years to live. Nobody's going to rescue you or change your financial situation if you don't. I'm the architect of my perfect life. I'm the architect of my destiny. You are the architect of your destiny. You are the architect of your perfect life. I'm just saying. I think that's a dope. Like, bam! Okay. Hey, come on, period. So let's just take it serious. Your money should have assignments. If you don't really know what to invest in, I highly recommend you go to Madam Finance, go to shows, and I break down some really good stuff for ETFs 101, REITs 101. Like if you don't understand some things or got some kind of idea, I throw some nuggets out there. AI ETFs. I just shared a lot of powerful stuff, thanks to God, for us to elevate and move to the next level. And you don't have to be a professional. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You got $5. Okay, look at Sharonda say AIQ. She remember that. ETF. Come on. Mine's doing pretty darn good. I don't know if anybody, I think somebody else on here invested in AIQ ETF. I think Stacy did. Stacy, look at your stuff. I don't know if she on here or not, but we share some nuggets on here. This is a great platform. Share with other people. I put my heart and soul into making sure that we are building. And I'm building in real time. I'm building right along with y'all, okay? I'm not just telling you anything. I'm telling you what I have done, what me being an ex-banker have done. We got Terri here. She ain't no joke, okay? Terri ain't no joke, y'all. Y'all heard her. Y'all felt her spirit. You know what I'm saying? You see the stuff that she did. God is truly working with her. Sophia came on last week. Come on, y'all felt her energy? Come on now, we ain't playing with nobody over here. Let's get it in, y'all. 2026, y'all. 2026, y'all. I'm excited about it. Go on, Terri. You got anything else you want to share with us, love? Because it's 9:54. I want anybody who got some questions, please say it. I got some questions for Terri.
Sharonda's hand is up.
All right, Sharonda, go with it. I see you got AIQ, should be around $50. Okay, it's under $100. I failed to say that.
Oh, I need that.
Well, those notes that you were sharing, yes, it is a stock, but it's I believe it's a ETF or
It
index
is.
fund, one of those.
It's the
But
ETF.
the those notes that you had, we need that. Like it was at least two of those that need to be on a t-shirt about the past and the future and investing and income.
Come on.
Those need to be on a shirt like today.
Hey, Madam Finance, I've been moving in silence, y'all.
You and Danielle, y'all been using some apps and it's showing y'all the picture with the
yes
quotes on there.
And that's
We
exactly
need
what
that
I'm
as the
doing
quote,
with
and
it.
we need it on a t-shirt.
Yes, it's exactly what I'm doing. Yes, yes. This is real, y'all. We build it. And I also shared to a lot of Elizabeths about the AI cloning. If y'all didn't get that link, I pretty much sent it to everyone. That's powerful. AI is powerful. They'll build it for you, okay? They're using it like crazy, and you can make money off of it.
Not only that, you got your link, you also got Sora, Open AI. You can create a digital clone in that as well for free, which is it's a chat GPT bot. So you can get your AI clone and your AI clone can start doing the work for you.
Yes, and the one I sent, that which is good, the one I sent, you can get paid too, okay? Because any business owners that you know who don't want to stay on top of the game, okay? Every business owner you know, you talking about the AI, and they will build it for you if you want to. It's huge, huge. Yes, Sophia said, excellent presentation, Dr. Terry. Thanks for your wisdom and insight, girl. Yes, everybody, I love the feedback. I love you all suggestion. I welcome you all. Please come back. Yeah, this is real. This was really good. So can I get a takeaway? It's 9:57. Can I get somebody to give us a few takeaways for the day? I'd love to know that you all walked away with a takeaway.
I would say my biggest takeaway today would be the thing that you gave us on the taxes, because I've been nervous about filing taxes because I'm scared of the IRS. So just when you said, "Oh, you don't have to make no money to file," I'm like, "Oh, well, great," because that was like a relief.
Okay, and don't be embarrassed. Like some
They're
people be
scared.
embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed because they don't expect you to make no money the first year. So don't be embarrassed. Go ahead, Terry. What was you gonna say?
No, I was going to tell her, don't be embarrassed or scared. It's a go in with your documents, and that's why I want you educated so that you're not scared. You walk in whenever you get ready to file your taxes, you walking in with your head up because you know you have your documents, you've been keeping track of everything. We no longer afraid. We taking back the power. We're not afraid of the IRS. We know what we're expected to have and what we're doing, so we don't have to be afraid. We're going in knowledgeable. We're going in. We didn't change. We didn't turn the tables. We have to sit at the table now, so we know the tax laws and what's going on. Worst thing they could have did was gave us a seat at the table. We have a seat at the table. So we're gonna take advantage of that seat at the table. We want to know everything that's going on. So we don't have to be afraid no more because we in the books, we
Come on.
on the website. Look, we got AI. We all up in the business. We done took a seat
Okay.
at the table. Whether they gave it to us or not, we at the table. So we're no longer scared. We busting through doors.
Okay. Sandra Mack said, let's go.
Yes.
Linda said, great information. I thank God for Dr. Terry. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we're playing chess. I've been playing chess all my life, and I did not really realize the God revealed to me that I've been playing chess. We're playing chess, y'all. We're being strategic. She said it right out the gate earlier today. She said it right out the gate. We playing chess. We ain't playing checkers. Come on, we on the board. Come on.
Yes.
I also like how the young lady that just spoke before Dr. Terry said, let's go ahead and get the taxes done. And Dr. Terry, you have reiterated something that Keisha has been telling us, that go ahead, get it done, because we can use this to start getting our paperwork in order, and we can use it to start applying for the grants. So, it seems like, yeah, it might be a little bit of a sacrifice to pressure to get this done, but once we get that done, it'll be pressure off of us, and then we can move forward with focus and clarity and be able to move to a higher level and get all that God and money up in the mix.
Okay.
And extra resources.
And not only that, even to get certified, get your business certified, your certifications. They're going to want to know, have you filed your taxes? And, one thing I like about certifications, one thing people know, if you say you're certified or We Bank certified for women-owned businesses, it has highly respect because people automatically know you got your sugar honey iced tea together. Okay?
Connie's hand is up.
All right, Connie.
My takeaway is the receipts. I am horrible with receipts because they do fade. So just by saying copy them, I said, okay, that's so simple, but I didn't even think of that. And I am going to look at that QuickBooks so I can just go ahead and take care of it and be done with it.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool, and you all can and you can write that off also. Whatever the cost is, the monthly cost, you can write that. You can write that off. Yeah, you can. But it's a lot of powerful things that's going on if you live in the city of Detroit. But it's 10:01. And I want to be respectful of everyone's time. I'm just so thankful and grateful, that you all are, taking the time out, to work on your personal development, because this is personal development as well, and we're elevating together. So I want to give you all a hand for actually, showing up. Because one thing I noticed growing is that we are some intelligent people. People are very talented, and a lot of times we just don't have access, right? But now we got the access, and now we sharing the knowledge and everything together. So, I look forward to seeing y'all next Wednesday. I didn't get a chance to do my success story, but I'm gonna bring it up, next week. It's really powerful. But I want to say, let's give ourselves a hug, because as women, we give out so much love and so pour out so much on other people that sometimes we forget to love on ourselves. And please give yourself some love and grace when it comes to this, situation. Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself some love and some grace. Let's hug the world, because the world needs, a hug too. And let's send love and light to those that are in authority, because that's biblical. You're supposed to send and pray for those that are in authority. Enough people pray for those that are in authority. You never know what miracles can take place. So I love you all. I just want you all to remember, every day that you wake up is great. It's amazing. It's all good until you make it not. Peace out. Have a fantastic day on purpose.
Peace out and peace in.
I love it.